Hi guys, welcome to our daily encounter. In Luke chapter 23, we find Jesus before Pilate. And Pilate didn't see anything worthy of death in Jesus, and he wanted to release Jesus. And so he used a custom that he had developed with the people, where he would release one prisoner to them during the feast. And he used that as a means by which to try to get Jesus released. And he presented before the people two individuals, Jesus and Barabbas. And strangely and oddly enough, the people actually chose Barabbas. Barabbas was an insurrectionist, a murderer, and Jesus was the one who had taught in their streets. He had performed miracles. He had healed sickness and disease. He had done nothing but good for the people, and yet they chose Barabbas. They chose Barabbas to be released, and they wanted Jesus to be crucified. And as we go through the life of Jesus, we find that this is preposterous. How is it that people could have this insurrectionist, this murderer released, and have the innocent one, Jesus, put to death? And they chose the lesser over the greater. Well, we shouldn't be surprised at this, because this happens all the time. People all the time choose the lesser over the greater. And we see this in the spiritual life as well. Even in Romans chapter 1, it talks about the downward spiral that mankind had gone down. And one of the reasons why mankind had gone down this moral downward spiral is because of the choices that they made, that they exchanged the greater for the lesser. We see this in Romans chapter 1, and starting in verse 22, it says, "Professing to be wise, they became fools, and exchanged the glory of the incorruptible God for an image in the form of corruptible man, and of birds, and four-footed animals, and crawling creatures." There he's talking about how they had exchanged the glory of the incorruptible God, the creator of all things, for idols that were just in the image of created things. They weren't the creator at all. And then in verse 25, it says, "For they exchanged the truth of God for a lie, and worshipped and served the creature rather than the creator, who is blessed forever." And so people all the time make this choice. They say, you know what, I prefer to follow after the things of this world rather than the things of heaven. I'd rather serve things of this world and basically attach my heart to them as though they are God, as opposed to attaching my heart to the true God, the creator of all. This happens all the time, and it can even happen in the Christian life if we're not careful. If we're not careful, we can begin to make this horrible exchange to where each and every day we have an option. Am I going to ask for Jesus? Am I going to invite Jesus into my life and make Jesus the center of my day, and make him my priority and put him above everything else? Or am I going to choose the lesser things? Am I going to choose mere comfort or pleasure, or the things of the world, the things that might tug at my flesh or my heart, but can't really give me any true sustenance within, can't really satisfy the longings within? Are we going to choose the lesser, or are we going to choose the greater? Each and every day we have that choice to make, and I would encourage all of us to choose the greater. Not to choose Barabbas, not to choose sin, not to choose the ways of the world or the ways of Satan, but to choose Jesus in his glory, in his brilliance, in his righteousness, in his purity, and just invite Jesus into our lives. He's knocking at the door, and he's asking us to invite him in. And we can invite him in and accept him and choose him over everything else and devote our lives to him. And that's what our call is as Christians to do. So let's choose Jesus today. Let's choose Jesus over Barabbas, as it were. And so these are some things we can think about and reflect on as we do our readings today. With that, guys, I do thank you for watching the video today. Hope you guys have a great day. Love you guys. God bless.